Hello and welcome. You tune into Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Kanishka Sarkar. In the next half an hour, we'll take you through all the stocks that are in focus today on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. But first up, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up today. Last day of 2025, Kanishka, and seems like the mojo is back on D Street, at least for the New Year's. As far as Nifty is concerned, we are at the highest point of the day right now. In fact, we've managed to scale back those 26,000 levels. In fact, we are well above the 26,150 levels. We are trading with gains of 218 points on the Nifty, 0.8% gains coming in. As far as Nifty Bank is concerned, a sharper recovery of almost 380 points from the day's lows. In fact, we're trading with gains of almost 1% on Nifty Bank right now. 59,720 is where Nifty Bank is perched at. Even the broader markets, if you pull up the charts for mid caps, that's a clear outperformer. That's trading up with gains of 1%, and small caps also trading up 0.7%. So even the broader markets are adding a lot of leg to the rally. As far as the sectoral indices are concerned, Nifty Metal is shining away. In fact, Nifty Metal has been one pack that has been doing very well on the back of the rising metal prices globally. We have SAIL, we have JSW Steel, Jindal Steel, Tata Steel, all of them trading upwards of 3-odd%. We have the PSU banking pack that is also doing very well today. PSB, Indian Bank, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Union Bank, they're all trading with gains of 2%. And like I mentioned, it's the mid-cap that's really outperforming. And we have Hindustan Petrochemicals, Dixon Tech, IndusInd Bank, BHEL, BSE, Polycab, IndusInd Towers from the mid-cap basket that are doing very well. They're trading anywhere between 2.5 to 3-odd%. So that's doing well. The only one that is on the back foot today is Nifty IT, very, very marginally, but that's the only sector that is trading in the red with the very minor cuts of 0.05%. But besides Nifty IT, all the other sectoral indices are doing very well. Very, very flat moves coming in as far as Nifty IT is concerned. As far as the top gainers and losers are concerned, there are just 5 losers on Nifty today. In fact, the advance decline ratio is very, very clearly tilted in the favor of advances, and India VIX has also cooled off with cuts of 1.19% is where India VIX stands at. So that's how largely the market is shaping up. A great day coming in for the New Year's, Kanishka.
Absolutely. That New Year cheer, looks like is here for the markets as well. But now let's get started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. And to discuss the technicals, today we have Laxmikant Shukla, technical analyst, institutional research at Yes Securities India. Hi Laxmikant, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. And now, let's get started with all the stocks buzzing in trade. First up, let's talk about MCX. Now, this one is in focus because Morgan Stanley has upgraded the stock to equal weight from an underweight rating earlier, and has also very sharply raised the target price to 11,135 rupees. That's up from 6,710 rupees earlier. Now remember, this upgrade is driven by a strong surge in average daily transaction revenue over the past 3-month period with no signs of slowing. That's the word coming from the brokerage. They say that this jump is largely led by heightened price action in gold and silver, which together contributed nearly 55% of the ADTR during this period, that is the last 3 months. Valuations, they remain expensive, however, that's what Morgan Stanley has highlighted. However, it believes that sustained ADTR could help normalize multiples, and the brokerage has also raised EPS estimates by about 15% for FY26, 20% for FY27, and 24% for FY28. However, it does remain a little bit cautious that any dip in daily transaction data that could lead to swift profit taking given the real-time reporting nature of the stock, and hence the stock is trading well 2.5% higher today.
All right, let's move on from that to the next counter that Laxmikant you picked out for us. BHL is what you have picked out for us. Tell us on the charts, how does it look like? It is trading up 2% at the highest point of the day, but in the last 1 month it has been very, very, in fact it has been consolidating in the last 1 month. But from here on, do you see this positive momentum that BHL has picked up to continue?
Good afternoon to both of you. BHEL has given a decent breakout on the daily chart with the formation of bullish candle. And yes, you rightly said that after making top near the levels of 295, the stock has seen a retracement toward the levels of 268 to 270 kind of range. But then after, the stock has seen a bounce back move, and today it has given a double cup and handle breakout on the daily chart above the levels of 285 to 287 zone. So I think that would be the good level from one can take a long position in this stock, as the stock is trending higher and trading above all its key moving averages. So So we expect that this momentum will continue, and we expect upside target toward the levels of 305 in the upcoming sessions, with the stop loss which is seen around 275. So we expect that till it hold up this level, this upside move will continue in bail toward the levels of 305.
All right, moving on from BHEL to the next counter that is in focus, and that's RITES. In fact, that stock was up in a way 7% in early trade today after the company announced that it has secured an international order that stands at 3.6 million US dollars in value, and the order pertains to the supply of in-service Cape gauge diesel electric locomotives and has been awarded by the Berhad Development Corporation, that is from Zimbabwe. And on the back of this big order win, RITES is up in a way.
So that's RITES, trading well in green today. But let's move on and talk about steel stocks. Well, the likes of Tata Steel, JSW Steel, in fact, they're the top Nifty gainers also today. Now, these are in focus after the government has announced a major relief for domestic steel makers. That's by imposing a safeguard duty on certain steel imports. The duty will be levied for 3 years in a staggered manner, that is 12% in the first year, 11.5% in the second, and 11% in the third year going forward. Now, the safeguard duty will apply to imports from China, Vietnam and Nepal. That's helping curb low-cost steel inflows and protect domestic producers. Now, remember, this follows a long process that began with an investigation in December 2024. And now these duties are in place. And for large domestic players like Tata Steel and JSW Steel, this move is a very positive one, as it improves pricing power, supports margin, and also brings greater stability to the domestic market amid global volatility. And hence, both of these counters are trading well. JSW Steel up above more than 4.5%. Tata Steel also trading nearly 3% higher in the top Nifty gainers of the day.
All right, JSW and Tata Steel, top Nifty gainers from the metal pack. But Laxmikant, you've picked out BPCL for us. Tell us on the charts, what do you see for BPCL? If you look at the charts here today, it is actually trading upwards of almost 4% gains that are coming in. Highest point of the day is where it is trading at, but it has done quite well in the last few weeks as well. From here on, do you see this momentum to continue?
After a few days of sideways momentum, today's stock has come up with the formation of bullish belt hold candlestick pattern, and we have seen range breakout also in BPCL. So we expect that this higher upside move will continue. And still, if we look at the range of 20 SMA and 100 SMA, they are moving on the upside, which is again showing a positive momentum in this stock. So we expect that if it able to surpass its previous swing high of 386, then after we will see further upside move in this stock, which could push it higher toward the levels of 400. So that would be the expected target. So even one can go long at current position also, as this stock is about to give breakout on the upside, and our positive view will remain intact till it hold up the levels of 370 on the downside.
All right, moving on to the next counter, which is in focus, and that is Zydus Life. It is in focus on the back of a note by Motilal Oswal. They have initiated coverage with a buy rating, and they've set the target price to 575. Now, they feel that the portfolio is well aligned with the structural shifts in the global food and nutrition consumption trends. Food and nutrition segments are witnessing strong consumer adoption worldwide, and the growing usage of digitization can drive premiumization opportunities, strong capabilities in creating and scaling category extensions. Also, the distribution and architecture and omni-channel network has improved its direct reach and the launch execution, and the distribution network is robust and well diversified. The company is also focusing on faster scalability for its core business, acquired business, and multiple cost initiatives are a big positive. The valuation multiple is currently low given its low earning delivery in the past decade. The company is also set to deliver superior earnings growth than it has delivered in the past, and the margins are likely to expand to 15 to 16%, and the estimated revenue CAGR of around 30% and a 35% EBITDA CAGR during FY25 to 28. So on the back of that, a positive note coming in by Motilal Oswal, Zydus Life is firing on all cylinders today.
All right, so that's Zydus Life for you. But with that, time now for a very quick break. We'll be right back to discuss all the other buzzes in trade today. Welcome back to VT. Now you're watching Market Fatafat with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena, and here we are discussing all the top buzzes in trade today. And next up on the list is Premier Energies. Now this one is in focus because it has today entered, driven by two major triggers it has today. First, it has entered the F&O segment, as I was earlier highlighting. This is with January and subsequent series are now available for trading. That's improving the liquidity and investor participation for this one. And secondly, the company has also announced that it has bagged fresh orders worth 2,300 crore rupees in the third quarter from leading domestic power producers and other Indian customers. So yes, and these orders are going to be executed over FY27 and 28, which provides strong revenue visibility for both of these years going forward. And these order wins also support Premier Energies' aggressive expansion plans that they have, with the company targeting 10.6 gigawatt of solar cell capacity and 11.1 gigawatt of module capacity by September of 2026. So yes, on the back of both of these developments, the stock is in focus today. However, not doing all that well, down about 2% right now.
All right, moving on to the next counter. Laxmikant, you picked up ICICI Prudential for us. Tell us what do you see on the charts for this one. Now, this one seems to be picking up momentum. Tell us what are the levels to watch out for.
The ICICI Prudential has already given the breakout on the upside, and with that breakout, it has been making higher tops and higher bottom. And I think this positive momentum will continue till it hold up the levels of 640 to 645 of range, where it has formed a strong base. And after that, after giving that breakout, the stock has already moved on the upside. So we expect that this momentum will continue. So I think one should wait for the dip toward the levels of 658 to 662 kind of range, from where one can pick this stock and can expect upside move toward the levels of 700, which we are expecting as a target. And on the downside, I think 640 will be the stop loss, which one has to keep while taking long position in ICICI Prudential.
All right, moving on to the next counter that is in focus, and that is AB Capital. That is trading with gains of almost 2% in the trading session, and that is because of a brokerage note by Morgan Stanley that's maintaining an overweight rating, and they have hiked the target price from an earlier 375 to 427 rupees now. They have raised the consolidated EPS estimates by 0.4% for FY26 and 1.3% for FY27 and 0.8% for FY28. They have lowered the AMC business earnings estimates by 2% each year, and that is largely due to the lower revenue estimates. Now, they've also made marginal tweaks to the NBFC business earnings over FY27 and FY28. But on the back of a bullish brokerage note and a hike in the target price by Morgan Stanley, AB Capital is up and away 2% in trade.
All right, so that's AB Capital for you, up about 2% in trade right now. But moving on to another counter which is in focus, that is Bharat Forge. Now this one because the company has secured its largest ever small arms contract from the Ministry of Defence. Now the ministry has awarded the company a 1,660 crore rupees order for over 2.55 lakh CQB carbines. This is for the Indian Army. This contract was signed on 30th of December, and it's going to be executed over a period of 5 years, which provides a very long-term revenue visibility for the company. This carbine has been indigenously designed, developed and also manufactured under the IDDM category, and also jointly developed with DRDO's ARDE in Pune. And now remember, this deal is a very big boost for Bharat Forge's defence business especially, and aligns with the government's Atmanirbhar Bharat push as well. And hence, Bharat Forge becomes a very key player in India's defence manufacturing ecosystem with these orders coming in. And hence, it's trading more than 1% higher right now.
All right, moving on from Bharat Forge to L&T Finance. Now, L&T Finance on the charts. Laxmikant, tell us what do you see? Again, this one is trading up more than 2.5%. In fact, it has gained 52% in the last 6 months. Solid returns coming in on L&T Finance. Tell us, what does the chart look like?
The chart is looking quite impressive, and we have seen that it has been consistently making higher tops and higher bottom on monthly chart. But if you look at the structure of the weekly as well as daily chart, so we have seen some sideways consolidation within the band of 310 to 290 on the downside. So, but in today's sessions, this stock has given a consolidation breakout on the upside with the formation of bullish candle and also reclaiming the levels of 20-day SMA. So I think that this upside move will continue. So one should go long in this stock around the levels of 308 to 310. So that would be the good levels for taking long, and from where we can get get good risk and reward ratio, then one should keep the stop loss of around 290 and can expect the upside move toward the levels of 330 to 335 kind of range.
On to the other buzzers, graphite and HEG that are in focus now. What's the news flow? The buzz is that there is a lot of optimism around the European Union's carbon border adjustment mechanism, or the CBAM. Now, what exactly is CBAM? Basically, CBAM is carbon duties on Indian steel exports based on their high emission intensity, and also this will come into effect from the 1st of January 2026, which is tomorrow. And the India's steel export to European Union has already fallen 14% in 10 million during the CBAM's transitional phase. But the analysts are saying that the rally is driven by CBAM narrative, no direct impact coming in on graphite or HEG, but the incentives that EAF steel is given, which has slightly a lower carbon intensity, is given to the companies. But graphite is right now up 9%. HEG is also trading up 5% in trade.
All right, so that's the last stock of the day. Thank you so much, Laxmikant, for joining us today and helping us with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today on the back of technicals. And here's wishing you and your entire team a very happy new year. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, moving on.